Yo, what's up? This is the Really Kick It Podcast, episode 11. And as usual, I am your host, Ones, and I got the topics. First of all, this is the top of the year. It's 2026, man. We got to be grateful. We made it to another one. I've been here since 83. Getting old, man, but I'm happy. You see the grays. I ain't running from it. I'm outside, man. I'm outside. I'm happy. Everything is everything, man. But I want to get straight into it, man. I want to talk about outside. We're going to talk about outside. We're going to talk about Jim. We're going to talk about Cam. Cam and Jimmy. Cam and Jimmy still beefing. They talking about pulling up on each other. They talking about being broke. They talking about, I'm starting to believe these dudes were never friends. That's why I'm at with that. I'm starting to believe these dudes were never friends because there's no way you could be friends and go down the road that they going at. Like, Cam said this has been 17 years of Jim Jones dropping diss tracks on them. And that's true. He was just on Bleak Podcast and he said it's been 17 years. That's been longer than Dipset was together. You got to think about that. This is starting to look like Paid in Full. Remember how they put it with Mitch and what's his name? What was his name in the movie? Whatever his name was in the movie. They became friends because of necessity. It wasn't Alpo in the movie. What was his name? It was Mitch and no, Ace was AZ Faison. Whatever his name was. In the movie, they were friends because one had something the other one needed. That's why they became friends. That's starting to look like the parallel between Jim and Cam. Jim always tell a story about how he did whatever he had to do to make sure Cam was all right so they could make it. The parallel is there. It's starting to look like these dudes don't like each other at all. Like, at some point, we looked at it and said, when they did verses, we said, you know what? They bring it back together. Nah, they got back together for the money. And they didn't get a whole bunch of money if you let Jim tell it, but they did that. And now, fast forward, Jomo is beefing with the whole other side of Dipset. He beefing with Freaky Zeke. He telling Cam his side of the crew which is Sin City. You know Sin City because Sin City used to do a lot of music with Jim. But then he stopped to go over there with Cam. So now Jim is on the other side saying Cam whole team is soft. Like, what is this? Like, these are the adults. I remember they used to have a saying, it's never the rich guys that be starting the fights. That's a lie. From 50 to the Southwest T, everything that's going on is dudes that's supposed to have some money, supposed to have some clout, supposed to have some fame. Ain't no bums doing nothing. The bums are just trying to make it. The rich people are at the top fighting. But it's only in the black community, though. You notice that? Like, we don't see this in no other genre of music. We don't see this in no other corporation. It's just black people, man. Like, how do we have a problem with each other no matter what we doing? Cam and May started podcasting. Jim and them was talking about, they podcasters now. Now Jim is podcasting and Cam sending shots to him for bit. It's all corny, man. We could all get money and ain't got to bother each other, ain't got to step on nobody's toes, none of that. Like, it's money for everybody. Everybody trying to box each other out and all. Like, we could all work together, man. It's sad seeing people like Cam and Jim because we know them for being together. We know him, Jewels, all of it, the whole Dipset. They were so tight, they even isolated the whole second string of Dipset out. The J.R. Riders, 40 Cal and them, they try to act like they not even Dipset. Like, that's a whole nother thing. That's how close we thought the A group was. But they ain't even that close, man, and that hurt. And it even goes into Dame Dash. You got Jim saying, like he was a store goer or something. He talking about him on the podcast like he wasn't doing nothing before he got into this Rockefeller money, man. It's all sad because when they was cool, he would tell us, that was the big homie. He looked out for us and now he the little homie. It's starting to make us look like you can't believe shit that come out of our mouth. Because you big him up the whole time. You would tell us retroactively that he did all these corny things, but you was lined up with him, though. So if you could say he was corny and he wasn't none of that, you was praising him back in the day. So how does that make you look? These are the things we got to be conscious of. Like you trying to put him down, but you putting yourself down. Because if you saying he was a sucker back then, you was co-signing that sucker. What made you co-sign that sucker? The money? Come on, man. Y'all know how I feel about that already. Y'all know how I feel about that. Dame is out here talking about everybody's a chatty patty. He don't talk about people money and all that. He talking about Charlemagne deals. Charlemagne got 200 for his network to be shown on Netflix. You know what Dame Dash said? Yo, I had a network and I could have did. You could have, would have, and all like, bro, it's over, man. They taking everything from you. They selling it at auctions for the low. $100, you put all this Honor Up and what was the movie with Kevin Bacon, The Woodsman and all that? All of that is owned by somebody else. You put all that into something for somebody to own it for $100? Man, it's time. You got to look around, man. You got to look around, man, because these are the dudes we supposed to be looking at as the cool guys because they got money. Not because they did nothing cool, but just because money is cool. And look what they doing. They tearing each other down. Dame Dash out there, you ask him about what's going on with Cam and this person or Diddy and 50, and he talking about we can't bring down a black man. We always talk. Bro, you've been talking about Jay-Z for 20 years. Like, how is that not bringing down a black man when you say, oh, he does dirty business, he slimed you, Leo, let him do this, or he maneuvered this? That's bringing down a black man, ain't it? Everybody's moving the goalposts for themselves. They're not moving it for nobody else. They're not trying to make it easier for you to be corny. They just want carte blanche. He want to go out there and talk about everybody, but when everybody start talking about him, then they chatty patties. He talking about people money. He talking about things people did with women. He talking about all of this. All of this exists. I'm starting to believe Harlem ain't nothing we thought it was, man. Harlem ain't nothing. I'm glad to be from Brooklyn, man. I'm so proud to be from Brooklyn because Brooklyn handle things different, man. What's going on this internet with grown men? Because ain't no kids. None of these dudes is kids. All of them is 48, 50, 52. These are grown men. These are the people you look to and you say, yo, I want to be like them. But for what? They losing houses. They getting things foreclosed on. They can't pay their bills. We got to think of the new cool. We got to think of the new cool. What's the new cool? What could the new cool be? We done did everything. We done went over the streets. It's over for the streets, so we off that. What's cool now? Because that ain't it. Fighting your homeboy, that ain't it. Telling your homeboy to pull up, because if Cam was to pull up on Jim, it wouldn't be them beefing. It would be entourages of broke dudes that's trying to ingratiate themselves with Cam or Jim that'll go all out for what? Some money they ain't never gonna get. We know how this go. I think it's corny anytime I hear Jim Jones talking and he talking peace on one interview and he go to the next interview and he talking about what? The young boys that come get you. That's corny in itself to say the young boys that come get you. You ain't frontlining your own issues. You shouldn't have no issues, especially at your point, especially if you talking about pushing peace and make sure these kids get in position to be greater than they are. Because that's the only reason a grown man should be around a young boy, pushing them in a direction that's going to make him better than he is now. But I keep hearing this in this conversation. You agitating people. This is starting to turn into like a 6ix9ine thing, where you could say whatever out your mouth because you think somebody else is going to frontline the beef. But we know how that happened with 6ix9ine. I'm starting to think it ain't going to be too far if it happened to Jim. And speaking of Jim, you know how this thing goes. As soon as you start talking too much, they start putting out videos. They got a video of Jim running from the Latin Kings. They putting hands on him and he ain't do nothing. Listen, man, all of this came from inside the circle. Ain't none of that outside the circle. These are disgruntled people hanging around other disgruntled people. That's it. Listen, man, Max B home. We talked about him. He dropped some trash. You hear me? It's trash. Song for song. You can skip everything on it. I told y'all, he is Young Jock of New York City. That's who he is. He had a song or two, but it's over. He could go drive a Uber. If it wasn't for French Montana right now, because French Montana gave him the glow. We know French Montana is his fiance is the what is it, the princess of the Emirates or something? So we already know he's good. He got money. So he set his man out. But he should have let his man take some time. Because song for song is trash. They shot videos. The videos is trash. It's not moving the needle. It's not doing nothing. Like, you got to be a hardcore fan. Not even a fan. You got to be a blower. I'm gonna be honest. You got to be a blower to like any of that. Song for song is trash. And people was waiting on it. And you know what I want to talk about real quick? All the rappers that went to jail and came home and was supposed to take over ain't take over. Remy Ma, Shine, Fetty Wap just came home. I just seen he came home. He got no more hits in him. I looked at his face. It's no more hits. Who else? It's a couple other dudes, but the only dude I'm giving that credit to that went away and did time and came back and dropped some heat. Wait. Listen, hold on, wait. I was going to say Slick Rick because he went platinum. But I got my niece here while I'm filming, and she said Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty. That's what she into. That's why he only got one song. That's why I ain't mention him. He only had one song when he went to jail. So if he came back and he got one more song, then he got two songs. That's why we ain't talking about Pooh Shiesty. But my man Slick Rick went platinum with the art of storytelling. That happened. He shot somebody. He went and did his time. He came home, an older man. He switched all his gold for platinum, and he put out an album and then went platinum. That was one of the only dudes that came home with some heat. Remy Ma dropped some trash. Shine dropped some trash. I know it's a bunch of other dudes. Bobby Shmurda dropped some trash. He dropped so much trash that he stopped dropping trash. Like, he ain't even a rapper no more. He just out here shaking ass. I don't know what's up with the boy, but all of it got to change, man. We be waiting for these people. We be thinking that these people are going to come home and it's going to be something different. You got to think about how they left. I remember when Remy Ma left with that Conceited song, people try to act like that was a Grammy-nominated song or something. It was a mid song, and when she came back, she pushed out more mid. That mean if she wouldn't have went to jail, her whole career would have been mid. Her whole career would have been mid. Shine, whole career would have been mid at this first album. We got to stop thinking about these people in these ways. Like, if it's new music, if you like new music, find some new music. We got to stop thinking it's going to be, they going to bring the 90s back. Or I don't want to listen to none of that. Man, if it sound like the 90s, it's corny to me now because we ain't there. You got to give me your what's going on now? You got to put together something that's going on now that makes me feel like, you know what, I want to tune into that. Because if I'm skipping past your music to go listen to Life After Death or something, like, you making music for nothing at that point, bro. We was talking about music, me and my niece. We was talking about music, and she said, like, Nicki Minaj is hot. Right? That's what she said. She's the queen of rap. I don't know who the queen of rap is because I don't know who's writing what. I don't know. She may have a pen. Safari said he was helping at one point. You never know. You never know. Then you got the Cardi B's and the Lottos and all these people. Lotto said a lot of them is using the same pen. When she was beefing with not Cardi B, she's beefing with Nicki, I think. And she said we all look right in the same pen. So I don't know what to listen to. So you know what I listen to? The music my mother was listening to on the come up. I be listening to the Shy Lights, the Temptations, things of that nature. And then when I'm not, I listen to a lot of reggae. I listen to a lot of reggae because I don't believe none of it. I don't believe nothing that's going on in this rap no more, man. And I just don't think it's hot. I think music has got to a place where people want you to be more fan of them than their music. Because if you're a fan of me more than you are the music, I could give you whatever I want to in the way of music, and you just gonna take it because I'm me. And I think that's become detrimental to music. Nobody is pushing the envelope. J. Cole disappeared on us after what happened with Drake and Kendrick. He disappeared on us. We need some music from a Drake. We need some music from a Kendrick. We need some music from, I just said Kendrick. That's crazy. We don't need no music from Kendrick. Yo, GNX was a trash album. That Peekaboo song was a trash song, and y'all hyped it up because y'all hate Drake. I don't like that whole period in time. Like, a lot of music ain't even about the music no more. It's just you like somebody more than somebody else, or I like the way somebody dressed. That's corny, man. We've gotten away from liking music because of how it sounds, how it makes us feel, how the artistry put into it. It's just like, yo, I like him, so I like the music. And that's why music is getting trashed, because now they know moving like that is kind of like Trump with his base. I could just say whatever and y'all just gonna eat it up because y'all like me. That makes music trash. I just seen Lil Uzi dropped a free Uzi freestyle before I came to shoot this. Lil Uzi has nothing nobody wants to hear no more, man. He had a good year, made a whole lot of money, and now he talking about free me from another situation. Bro, you wanted out of the drama deal, you got with Roc Nation, now you went out with Roc Nation, I'm going to go out on the limb and say the problem is you. The problem is you in that studio. You ain't producing nothing nobody likes, and now you trying to obfuscate and make it everybody else's problem. It's not everybody else's problem. It's yours, man. This is what the music biz is. This is why when Fab drop a freestyle, the whole internet is going crazy. Because it's content, it's bars. We know exactly what you talking about, but you put it together with those bars in a way that make it be like, this is fly. 3 other dudes did they own freestyles. Nobody cares about their freestyles. Nobody cares about Dave East freestyle, Jim Jones, or Bano, because Fab did everything he needed to do. People like artistry. And with the music that people are pumping out now, you don't even know that you like artistry until somebody gives you that kind of artistry. You just listening to it, oh, I just like the beat. You listening to music, make a whole playlist. You going through a whole year making a playlist of just beats, basically. I like the vibe of this song because of the beat. You don't care about the artist. That's what we are. And Max B came home and he seen that the game was like that and said, you know what? Scoopity-doop, poopity-poop. That's what he did. He hit y'all with the Kanye. Y'all want something? Here, take this. Pay me all the money in the world for 2 minutes of garbage. Yo, I'm starting to hate when these artists go in and say, yo, I heard the beat and it took me 5 minutes to write. It sound like it. It sound like it. You need to take an hour, take a day, write the chorus, go home, listen to it, drive around with it, because the music could be better. The music could be better. Pooh Shiesty came out, what he came out doing, the same nonsense he was doing that got him saying he dissing on the first song. Dissing on the first song. You know why? Because without artistry, you need a gimmick. Beefing is now a gimmick. Because he could have came out and just, I don't even know who he was beefing with before he went in. So why I got to know about beef now? It don't make no sense. It's becoming a crutch. I need artistry back. I need some J. Cole, J. Colin. I need the what was it? The neighbors think I'm selling drugs. Come on, man, go listen to that song. You got to listen to that song and songs like Lights Please and things like that. They have a concept where he executes the concept through the whole song. That's the difference between him and the other rappers. These guys is telling you things they're not really living, things they're not really going through, all because they like, you know what? This person is a fan of me. They just gonna buy it. I just need to put something in the streets. As long as I put something in the streets, they eat it up. And that made music trash. We don't even got good R&B no more. Where's the R&B? Who's the good R&B artist? I'm supposed to listen to Summer Walker? Nah, I can't do it. I need the comparisons. Where's the comparison to, let's say, Whitney Houston? Mariah the Scientist? How many songs she got? She got 3 albums, but how many songs that somebody would know?
I know every song.
Come on, talk about it. Come on.
I know every song on her.
This my niece, y'all. You hear? Mariah the Scientist.
Her second, third, and fourth album. Her first album, I know some songs.
I didn't even know she had that many. You know, all I knew about her was she was with Thug. That's it.
This is why she's ruining her career.
Look.
She is a great artist. When I first made her listen to, not made her, made Daddy listen to Mariah. Daddy really likes Mariah. Mommy really likes Mariah. Everybody who listens to Mariah likes her. It's just that now when she first started getting popular with Burning Blue,
Yeah.
she was already like getting popular, but not on the level.
What would you compare it to if it was an older artist? Who would you compare it to?
I would say, I don't know. I don't know. I would say pop artist. Like she's kind of stop biting me.
Does she have a real like throaty singer voice, or is it just like
She
pop melodic?
she sings, but then her music is just like more of it's not like a Summer Walker vibe. It's something. It's like if you like indie music,
Yeah.
like one of those that like the side of music that like only certain people like to listen to. She's like that mixed with R&B. She doesn't.
She
Even,
an underground R&B person?
yeah. That's basically
Like
what it is.
she make mixtape R&B?
It's not. It's like I don't know how to explain her music. Her music is just different. That's why it's like
I gotta tune in. See, and this is why you gotta have the youth around you. Because I wouldn't know nothing about Mariah the Scientist. I would never even tune in. As soon as I knew seen her with Thug, I read her off. Like, oh, she out here. That's it. That whole crew, it's over. But see, now I'm going to tune in, and this is why you got to have the youth around you. Because
her first album, Master.
The album before this latest one.
That's To Be Eaten Alive. Yeah, that's a great album.
that's the one with the song that's on the radio.
No, that's her newest album. That's
Yeah, that's the only song I know. Because it's on the radio all day.
yeah, Burning Blue. That's a great song.
It is.
That's also a great song.
But I didn't know who it was.
If you listen to From a Woman by her, it's great. That's a song.
Yeah, I'm mad that you don't want to get on camera, man. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I'm not. I look crazy.
We got the other mic.
Next episode.
We got the other next episode. She gonna be on here and she gonna be the correspondent for all things music. All things music. Cause y'all see, I'm telling y'all, I'm out the loop. I listen. I got titles, so what is it, 14 a month to listen to everything. So I listen to everything, but nothing holds my attention the way music used to. Like I listen to some of this stuff and I just turn it off, man. I'm like, all right, you said that already. I heard that from somebody else, or it got the same vocal inflection. Maybe you sound the same, or you picking the same beats. The Griselda, Mac Hami, like all of the underground men rappers is rapping to the same beats over and over. Like it just, everything feels the same. Everything feels the same because nobody is taking time to make albums no more. You don't hear 3 verses on a song. You don't hear people making music that's about something. I remember, I think it was, I don't even remember how long ago this was, but Future and Andre 3000 made a song called Ben's Friends. I think that was the first song that Future made that was about something that I actually gravitated to. Everything else just seemed like, listen, I'm making music for the people to eat it up real quick and it's disposable. But Ben's Friends was about something. It had a concept and he followed it all the way through. It wasn't just mumble swag rap. And I thought Future was dope. But they always say before the fame, Future was actually rapping when his name was Meathead. He dumbed it down to get into the music game. So I'm assuming that's what all these dudes is doing. They not taking their time because y'all don't want them to take their time. Y'all taking whatever they give, whatever offering it is, so they don't feel like they need to go in the studio, lock in, and try to curate nothing big that's gonna last forever, like a Illmatic, like a Reasonable Doubt, like a what's a classic album? Life After Death, those type of albums where you got skits, you got the song for the ladies, you got the song for the clubs, you got the song for the gangs. Like everybody is touched on these albums. You got albums sounding directly the same for 90 minutes. And it's just getting boring to me is what I'm saying. And now on top of that, these dudes, they're not putting in that much in the rap because there's no money in rap. So they're showing it was more of a hustle the whole time. Because as soon as there was no more money in rap, y'all not even trying to bring it back to where the music is the prominent thing. They went right to we podcasting, we streaming, we doing all these other things to bring in revenue. So they're showing that it's just about the revenue. It ain't about the artistry no more. They walked away from the artistry. Soon as there wasn't no money, yo, I'm out. When you had dudes that used to, when I was coming up, man, you walk into a cypher anywhere, man. And this was with the real rappers. When I was living in the Stein, what I want to say 92, 93, Buckshot and them used to be on Lafayette between Marcus Garvey and Lewis, huh? Just out on the street, rhyming and, you know what I'm saying, at block parties. You don't get to see none of that no more because everybody is a prima donna. Everybody is a prima donna. They want all the fame and all these things, but they don't want to do what it takes to maintain their fame. Like a Jay-Z. I talked about this on a podcast either 2 episodes ago or last episode. Jay-Z grew, and he got knocked for it. When he made 444, he was telling you about what's going on in his life, how he invested money, the business dealings he got, and people called it corny. But to turn on the album and listen to a dude, listen, I push all these drugs that I don't push for 42 songs. Man, I think music is in a bad place. I think music is in a bad place, man, and seeing all these crews and all these ex-crews fall out that we used to look at like, damn, Rockefeller is the shit, G-Unit is the shit. G-Unit, I just seen one of 50 Shooters got a problem with Tony Yayo because Tony Yayo sat down with a podcaster who be talking shit about the shooter. Like, you see how this go? Like, in the streets, you got to be a loyal dude and you got to walk this walk. But Tony Yayo going into the podcast game, he trying to connect himself to people who already have a voice in the podcasting thing. And one of the first people he sat with has beef with somebody that was holding Tony Yayo down. So now Tony Yayo has another problem just because Tony Yayo is trying to grow up. Because that's what I see that as. If y'all had a problem in the past and you could sit down with them and be amicable, that's grown man shit to me. But in the streets, that ain't grown man shit. That's disloyalty. Because that's what Jaffe Top Tiger. Jaffe Top Tiger was one of G-Unit's top shooters, one of the persons who used to hold Tony Yayo down. Tony Yayo sat down with China Brim. China Brim is one of the dudes who said that Jaffe Top Tiger name is on paperwork and he a snitch. It's all a circle of stupidness, man. Because China Brim has a name now, so Tony Yayo, trying to get into the lane that China Brim is already in, sat down with him, and he said, you know what, you got problem with my man, but I'm going to sit down with you anyway because I need to go that way. And now him and his man is at odds. They sharing disses. These people done been on tour. They done been at their mother's house and all that. They telling all kind of stories about how linked in they is. And now because of this one little thing in the end, they beefing. Listen, man, when I come on here, man, I always try to show you what's going on in media, what's going on social media, and what's going on in lives to make it all relatable. This loyalty thing, as the way it's looked at, it has to evolve. It has to grow. We can't only look at loyalty and attach it to street morals because street morals are unwritten and they're ever changing. Nobody is living by no street morals. People try to act like they're living by street morals. Nobody living at street morals. I'm trying to get back to the crib at the end of the day, so I'm not in the streets. That's how I'm on it. I don't have a reason to try to make y'all provide an image to make y'all believe that I'm more street than I am. I did that. I'm away from that, and I'm going somewhere else. I don't make music that says, yo, this is me. I'm on some street shit. I'm not trying to provide an image that's not me no more. A lot of these dudes are still doing that because that's how the money is going to keep coming in for them. They don't know no other way. They grew. They don't live. They'll tell you about all the nonsense and they'll rap about all the nonsense, but they not living like that in their real lives. And that's where I criticize them because I want to know about the growth. Because if you tell me about the growth, I'm an older dude. I'm growing, but I could take that. The kids need to hear that. The kids need to hear that y'all ain't ops, that you could overlook what was past beef. Because Jaffe Top Tiger and China, that's real beef. Once you say somebody snitched or put somebody's name in paperwork or try to defame somebody, that's real beef. So what Jaffe thought was loyalty, Yayo ain't think was loyalty because they looking from two different perspectives. Yayo was trying to grow. He's trying to start something new, so he's trying to do new things that he ain't never did. And that's sitting with somebody he had fake problems with, and the street component to G-Unit don't like that. So should Tony Yayo stifle himself? Should he stagnate himself and stop growing because it make the dudes that ain't doing nothing mad? Because that street presence, that ain't nobody doing nothing. What he's trying to get into, him and Uncle Murder got a street presence, Yayo got a street presence, but they both trying to be podcasters now. That mean they had to grow. They got to overlook all the petty shit that happened. Now, of course, they can't, G-Unit had a lot of beefs. If it got violent, a lot of the times you can't bring that back together because somebody got hurt. That's just how it is. But if y'all never beefed it and it was just a war of words or something like that and y'all could talk about it and mediate it, do it. Do it. Because most of the times, if you live long enough, you end up doing it anyway. I done seen dudes that was beefing, ain't seen each other in 12, 13 years, see each other somewhere, give a pound, and that's it. They cool from there on out. Because the beef wasn't real, and you give yourself enough time to know that. So the Jaffe Top Tigers, he's talking from a street position, but if his life changed, if he get into a position where he could make a legal bag, guarantee his life will change. And then it'll be somebody down the line that'll look at him the same way. So what we got to do is find people that are more like-minded, that are growing, that are trying to mature, and are trying to get away from the stupid shit, trying to get away from the negativity, trying to get away from the reasons to stay at odds with people for nothing. Because all of these are grown men. Most of them done left the neighborhood and all that. So you would have to come back to the neighborhood to be mad, back to the neighborhood to beef. Who's doing that? Nobody. Cam, Jim told Cam to pull up. Cam say you 50. What are you talking about, pull up? That's how he was supposed to handle that. That's how he was supposed to handle that. You're supposed to outgrow certain things. You're supposed to transcend what you were, what you were thinking, incrementally over time. Nothing happens. It ain't going to be no big jump. You're going to learn lessons, and you're going to apply those over time. That's what being an adult is. And being an adult for Tony Yayo mean I want this legal money forever. I don't want none of the street shit. So what he went and did, one of the first things he did on his rollout, he went and talked to Fat Joe, somebody they had beef with. You got to quell those. You got to mediate these things. If it's not that serious, quell them. You don't want to look over your shoulder. The more friends you have, the more allies. I don't even want to say friends. The more allies you have, the more enemies you don't have to look for. I'm not saying everybody is going to be in your face and tickling you and love you the way you. Nah, it ain't got to be that. But you could respect somebody enough to be like, yo, you know what? You doing that. You doing that. If we could collab, we could collab. If we can't, we can't. It's not we beefing. It's not we enemies. None of that. Talking don't make us friends, and not talking don't make us enemies. That's a true statement right there. Through all of this, man, it's about growth. Through all of it. I'm still waiting to see the interview. I mean, I seen them touch on it on the dog in the yard. Right? They asked Max B about the snitching allegations, and he said what he said. But what he's saying ain't adding up to what the other people were saying, the people that's still locked up. Because he does have code Ds. He does have code Ds. He ain't explaining enough to make me understand how he got home. I mean, it sound fly, and I guess because of who he is and his notoriety, they didn't want to push and go that far in and bring those things out of him. But I mean, at this point, I don't really care about who's snitching. I don't really care about who's snitching because I'm not in the street. We talk about it because I understand a lot of people who watch this podcast, a lot of the people that I know are still in the street. That's why I try to communicate these things. But me personally, I don't care about snitching. I'm dealing with self-accountability. Like, snitching is just in the streets. I'm dealing with self-accountability all around the board. And when I'm talking about self-accountability, I'm talking about being a man. I'm not talking about being no street nigga. If you got kids, are you taking care of your kids? If you got a woman, are you taking care of your woman? If you got, you know what I'm saying, are you taking care of your family? Or if you're deep into the family thing. That's what I'm worried about. That's self-accountability. I'm not worried about who told on nobody. I'm not on that no more. You know why? Because there's too many niggas telling. You're going to have to be mad at everybody in a little while if you mad at niggas telling because everybody telling. So I choose not to be mad, man. I'm a recluse. That's who I am naturally. But because of what I want to do with my future, I've been reaching out to more people, calling more people, having conversations about a multitude of things that I want to get into, which is bringing me out of my shell. You can't be a recluse and you want to help people. You can't be a recluse and you want to build your network. You can't be a recluse and you're trying to be the face of a movement. So in those ways, I had to change. And that change has been all positive for me. Any change that's positive, we shouldn't fight. I've had a lot of positive growth in the past year because I've just opened myself to people who are like-minded individuals. And now I got a lot of things going on. I keep telling y'all about the interviews that I got lined up, and I haven't had those because of scheduling. The people, even though the people I want to sit down with, Orange Stars, they're still busy. And that's what makes them dope to me. That's why I want to sit them down and have them communicate their stories to you, because I think they're dope. I think they're dope. They're not celebrities, but they're celebrities to me. and they're walking, talking information. They're walking, talking sacrifices. They're walking, talking ambition. All of the things that kids need to see young. Because if you see these things young, you know that you could do it. Because we get in our mind a lot. I can't do this, or I wish I could do it. You could do anything, long as you're willing to sacrifice. Long as you're willing to sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice some time now, and go through what you got to go through now for it to be roses by the time you're 40. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But what you can't do is look at these people with money. The Dame Dash, the Jim Jones, all these people beefing and say, I want to be like, don't want to be like them, be greater than them. Be greater than them. Don't get marred down with the nonsense. Don't fall victim to the social media buffoonery. Just go the straight way, the straight line the first time on out, man. And you can make it. Because all these people that we talking about could be black excellence, but it's kind of like they don't want to be. I was watching the podcast with Jim Jones, man, and them, and they was talking about being a role model. Listen, man, as soon as you start taking in too much money, you become a role model. It's like that in the streets. It's like that wherever you go. As soon as you get too much money, people start looking to you for answers, for advice. You become the big bro. That role model thing is something you can't get away from. But what you can do is curate a personality that you're consciously using as a vessel to show kids that are looking. Because no matter what you do, once you become a public figure, kids are watching. Kids are watching. So you don't want the kids to be like, if you sit a bunch of kids down and they watch Scarface, you don't want the kids to be watching Scarface all the way through, see him die at the movie and still say they want to be Scarface. You want the kids that's going to be like, yo, damn, if he didn't do X, Y, and Z, he would have never end up in this position. That's how you're supposed to use this information. See what these niggas out there and be able to call it corny. I'm not fighting my man online. I just won't talk to you. I go live my life. I ain't doing none of that. If I ever said I loved you, ain't no way. What we beefing for? Online. The only way we gonna beef online is if you bring it on online. I'm never shooting at mine. You can do whatever you want to do. Because I could walk away. I could walk away. I ain't got nothing to prove. These dudes is going at each other online because I'm starting to think they was never really cool, man. I don't got no interaction. I got brothers I walked away from, brothers that I did crimes with, brothers that listen, man, they went left and I went left. That's it. We don't talk no more. We don't kick it. We ain't no enemies. We ain't no friends. You go do your thing, I go do my thing. I learned something and I applied it. It's really that simple for me. And I needed to be that simple for everybody, man. I needed to be that simple because you would tie yourself to perpetual nonsense if you keep doing what they're doing. Because Dipset is going to come back together at some point for a bag, I feel like. But we going to know how corny it is. We going to know you niggas don't like each other. We going to know how Jimmy feel about Cam and Cam feel about Jimmy, and they gonna get on camera and they gonna be hugging and they gonna fake the funk and all that shit for some money, and we gonna know it's fake. What I'm telling you is you ain't never got to be fake. You ain't never got to be fake. Assess what you saying and see it for what it is. So when it pop up in your life, you're gonna be like, oh nah, that's just like, oh nah, we ain't on that. We ain't on that. We could do better than that. Especially with somebody you done got all this money. You done got all this money. Y'all done travel the world, all type of shit together, only to be beefing for 17 years. If you let Cam call it, come on, man. We gonna let positivity reign. It's 2026, man. If you ain't never tried to change the way you think, consciously try to change the way you think now. Think of what you think about. Think about what you think about. When you looking at certain shit, why do you think that's cool? Why do you think he's cool? Why don't you think he corny for the shit that he's doing? This is self-assessment in real time. And I promise you, if you do the self-assessment young, you'll know who you are young. And when you know who you are, can't nobody trick you off your square. Can't nobody trick you off your square if you know who you are. Because can't nobody talk you into nothing. If you know what your goals are, I tell everybody, get a whiteboard, get a erasable marker, and write down everything you want to do. Everything, whatever the ideas is, and write it down long term and short term. Long term and short term. What is long term? Long term is, I got to knock down A, B, and C to get to D. Short term, A to B. To get my license, what I got to do. To get my permit, what I got to do. I got to go to the DMV. I got to get this book. I got to read that book. I got to know what's in that book. Then I got to go sit down and take the test. So it started, I want my license. I want my permit. That was the idea. The action was you going to get the book and learning the book so you could go take the test. Knock it down that fast. I itemize everything because if you could see it, I've read that you're supposed to write things down just so you could see it, just so you could have that clarity that that's the goal. And that works for me. I itemize everything on the whiteboard, everything, because I'll forget it. So just find better ways. I don't care if it's a journal. I don't care if it's just you doodling or get your ideas out and be serious about you. That's what this year is. This is the year to be serious about you. What do you want out of life? You got to ask yourself that. And then you got to start answering yourself. Some of your friends ain't the friendliest, and they the reason you walking around with angst and you walking around mad because you got a snake in your grass. Get the snake out your grass. If you need a smaller circle, if you gotta isolate yourself or whatever to come up, just do it. Start doing it now, man. Don't wait. Don't wait. Get it together now, man. Because by the time you old, it's gonna be a lot harder to get yourself together. It's gonna be a lot harder to get yourself together. So what we doing, man, for this year? I pressed up some merch. Got some T-shirts on the way. We pushing less big homies, more mentors. We pushing that hard this year. We got the shirts. I sped out. I left the house on my way here. I grabbed some other thing. I was supposed to grab the shirts. I ain't grabbed the shirts. But the next time y'all see me, y'all have the shirts. And that's what we doing, man. We trying to stay productive. We going to keep banging out these episodes. We going to connect with some forward moving people. And I'm going to interview the interviews are going to be in the same vein. The same kind of dudes I brought y'all to. I'm going to bring y'all women that's doing their goddamn thing. I'm trying to bring you people that you need to see. Not doing no rollouts for no album. Not just trying to use y'all to buy an album or to buy something. Nah, I'm trying to bring people to this platform that the people need to see. That's my goal, and that's going to continue to be my goal. In closing, I wanna do a moment of silence. I lost some people. I know a lot of people that's watching, y'all lost people throughout the year, maybe this year or last year. Yeah, I want to dedicate this to Charlene Ramos. She heavy on my mind. I lost her last year. She was 44. One of them things, just freak, wasn't really sickly, none of that. Just some freak accident, and she went to go get a surgery and she ain't come home. So I want to tell everybody, take care of your health, man. Don't push nothing under the rug. Like, if something is going on with your body, don't self-diagnose. Go get checked out. Let them people see what's going on with you, man, because this could be a short one. This could be over before you know it. And you ain't got to be long-term sick. You ain't got to be sickly. It could just be a freak accident or something rare that take you out, man. But I think about it a lot, so I wanted to dedicate this and also I don't even know, man. Like, death has been weighing heavy on my soul lately. So that's just something I felt like I needed to get out there. It's a lot of people who are going through a lot of things. My cousin, my homeboy, he just lost his cousin. She was young too. Like, it's a lot going on, man. Take care of your people, love yourself, and get your health in order, because ain't no second chances at this thing, man. Ain't no second chances at this thing. You got to love who love you. You got to stay away from sucker shit, and you got to grow. Those are the 3 mandates, man. Just like a flower, man. You need minerals, you need water, and you need sunlight. It might not work exactly the same thing with the growth, but you need things to grow. Put those things in your life this year. If you were missing something, identify what you were missing and find it for yourself so you can grow and be who you're supposed to be. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm encouraging everybody around me to do. That's what I'm encouraging the kids to do, man. We can make this a great life, man. We got to stop complaining and start getting ready to do the work. Nothing happens without doing the work. Nothing happens. I don't care what it is, man. So that's what we going to do. We going to work. I got a 9-to-5 job. I do this. I help my friends. I'm just trying to be a resource out here. I'm just trying to be a resource out here, and I'm building a network. I'm telling you, I got some great people. I don't want to keep talking about all these great people I'm talking about until I can schedule them. But I want to tell y'all about the conversations, but I'm more patient because I want the conversation to be had with the people I want to have these conversations with, so y'all could get what y'all need to get from these conversations. And with that said, man, this has been episode 11 of the Rilla Kick It podcast. And as always, man, peace and love. We out. 2026, here we come.